The main idea with negative harmony is that you're reflecting the notes of the scale and therefore the chords of the scale over an axis. You get this sort of reflection of them. And that axis is cut down the middle of the circle of fifths. Basically, you take the circle of fifths and you cut a line down between the tonic note and the dominant note. So if we're in the key of C, the tonic note is C, the dominant note, the fifth note of the key, is G. So we cut a line through the circle of fifths between those two notes. And now that is our mirror. So the notes on either side of this circle of fifths are going to be the negative versions of each note. C reflects to G, F reflects to D, B flat reflects to A, E flat reflects to E, A flat reflects to B, and D flat reflects to G flat. That's how we get the mirror version of the notes. The final step to make this negative harmony, harmony as in chords, is to then take the notes of whatever chord we want to reflect and one by one reflect them over this axis. So the reflection of the chord G major is F minor, and we can see that by taking the three notes of G, which are G, B, and D, and reflecting them over to get C, A flat, and F, the notes of an F minor chord, right? That's how you get the negative version of any chord you like. So for example, if we wanted to get the negative version of E minor, we reflect the E over to get E flat, we reflect the G over to get C, and we reflect the B over to get A flat, and we have an A flat major chord. So the negative version of E minor in the key of C is A flat. And what you'll find when you reflect chords into their negative versions is that everything that was major becomes minor and vice versa, and everything that was ascending becomes descending and vice versa. So for example, if I took the chord progression in C major of C, D minor, E minor, and F, just climbing up the major scale, well, the negative version of that would be this. We're now climbing down the minor scale. So we were climbing up the major, we're now climbing down the minor, and all of the chord qualities have flipped. So before we had major, minor, minor, major, and now we have the opposite. We have minor, major, major, minor.